Hi, I'm Johnny and you're watching the Hexy Beast. And on today's episode we're going to be taking a quick look at Friday by Friedemann Friese and published by Rio Grande Games. Anyway, let's crack this one open, shall we? Friday is a solo adventure, only you can win the game. You are helping Robinson, who came ashore your island, fight against the many hazards. At the beginning, Robinson is not very skillful. With each fight he wins, you will improve his abilities. But defeats are also helping to get rid of his worst habits. However, life on the island is energy sapping. So Robinson not only gains experience during his time there, but also starts aging and tends to get clumsy. In this game, Robinson is represented as a card stack of different behaviours. You are forced to improve this card stack so you can collect the cards at the end of the game to give Robinson the best chance to win against the tough pirates. Okay, so the first thing we do is we take all three boards that come in the box and lay them out like this. Once that is done, take all the life counters from inside the box, put them in a pile, and take two of them and set them aside as your reserve. Okay, so before we start, the first thing we want to do is we're going to want to create the aging deck. And to do that, we take these cards with the white beards on the bottom, shuffle them up, and put them on the bottom by here. Then what we do is we take all the ones with the beards on and take 7 of them. Because we're playing an easy game, we're going to take out this one here, very stupid. So set that aside, take it away, and then we're going to shuffle these up, and we're basically going to place them on top of the 3 white bearded cards that we just put on there a minute ago. And this is basically going to be our aging deck, which basically means anytime we deck out over here, we're going to be drawing a card from here to add to our deck. These generally have bad things in them, so we don't want to spend too much time getting them in our deck. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take all these cards which have the plain brown bottom, and basically these are your starting deck. So we're going to give them a quick shuffle, and then we're going to place them on the mat by here. After that, we're going to take all the challenge cards, which you can tell the difference between these because you'll have a bit of Robinson on the top, and on the bottom you'll have these challenges. So we're just going to take all of them, shuffle them up, and place them on this green mat over on the left. Now, we're going to take these 3 stage cards so we can see what stage challenge we're going to be doing throughout the game. And we're going to start them with the green one on top. They progress throughout the game from green to yellow to red. So we're just going to place them above here with enough space for a discard pile from our challenge deck. Now, it's time to choose our 2 main pirates for the game, and these are basically functioning as our boss at the end of the game. So we've given them a shuffle, we're going to draw 2 off the top, and we're just going to place them somewhere where we can see them, off to the side, so that we know what we're aiming towards. So with setup now complete, we are now ready to start the game. So at the start of each turn, what you're going to do is you're going to draw 2 of these challenge cards off the top of this challenge deck, and then you're basically going to choose one. And these are pretty much the same. So the way you decide how to choose a card is basically, this is how many cards you'll get to draw for free when you're fighting it, and this at the bottom here will be what will get added to your deck once you complete it. But as they're both the same, I think I'm going to go for the ×1 destroy, which will let us destroy a card later on when we need to. Okay, now, as stated in this corner of the card, we're going to draw our 3 cards. And what we're trying to do is beat this green value here, because at the moment we're on the green stage. So I get to draw 2 free cards. Oof, not a good start. But the good thing is, any points that we lose lives for by not being able to meet it. So for right now I'm -1, so I would lose 2 lives to do this. But I also notice these costs in the corner of the cards. So if I lose these 2 lives right now, I can also use the lives I lost to destroy the cards that I don't need. So seeing as these are both a 0 and a -1, I'm just going to eliminate them from the game right now because I've lost those 2 lives. But I still have to fail the card. So this will go into the discard pile for the challenge deck. So just like before, we're going to draw another 2 cards, and we're going to see what we need to do. Okay, this one looks a lot easier because if you notice, both of them only actually need a 0. So I'm going to go for a destroy again because we didn't get the last one. So now we're going to do the same as before, but notice here we only get to draw 1 free card. So let's see what we get. Whoops. We get a 0. So at this point, what happens is we'll get these and put them in our nice little new discard pile here, ready for when we run out of cards and shuffle it back into our deck. Another 2 cards off a challenge deck. We got a 0 and a 1. And we're going to try and take on this 1. Because I know there is at least 3 1 cards left in this deck, and we haven't seen any of them yet. And we get to draw 2 cards for free. So first, not a good start, we got a -1, so now we have to get another 2. We got a 0 for free. Okay, so not only can we lose lives by failing a card, but we can also spend a life to draw another card onto the right side. Oh, it's another -1. Okay, what I'm going to do here is, because we're at -2 versus a 1, I am actually going to lose 3 lives and destroy all 3 of these cards for later. So goodbye. But it does mean we fail this, so we haven't added anything great to our deck. But what we have done is eliminate some of the bad cards that are there. Okay, so we draw the next 2 cards again, and I think this time I'm going to go for this one because it's only a 1 as we're on the green stage. And we get to draw 2 free cards, so that's another -1. We really can't keep getting them, and another -1. Okay, so that puts us at -3. So just like before, I'm losing 3 lives to get rid of them. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is you're going to keep taking turns like that, and then once this one's out, what you're going to do is you're going to take all the cards from your discard pile, shuffle them in here, and then take one of the aging cards off the top of the aging deck, place it on top, and then shuffle all that together to form your new player deck, ready to continue. So we draw another 2 challenge cards again. Ooh, we got wild animals. And we've also got one of these, further explore the island. Okay, at this point, because I want to show you something, we're actually going to go for this one. And basically, this is going to allow me to draw 4 free cards, remember? So we've got a 2, that's a good start. We've got this 1, which gives us the 3, but we've also got a power on this one. So anytime we can turn this sideways, and we can choose to stop drawing now, because now I'm going to double this 2 to make it a 4. This now completes this card, and we take it and put it in our discard pile, like so. So play will kind of continue in that fashion until this deck runs out. And when it does, what you're going to do is you're going to take all of the discard pile and shuffle it all up and put it back. But as well as that, what you're going to do is you're going to advance the stage to yellow, which means now, if we look at one of the top of these cards, this challenge, instead of costing 2, is now going to cost us 5. Okay, same as before, draw 2, pick 1. And I think this time, they're both 5, so we're not really going to hit any of them. But I'm going to take this one because it has a double in it. So, let's try and actually get something going here. We've got a 0. We've got another 0. This is looking great. We've got another 0. I don't really think it's worth drawing any more cards. So once again, we are going to take 3 hits to our life and remove them from the game and fail this card. Okay, so this game isn't going very well for me. I just want to talk about how you would lose the game. If you were to ever completely draw out of these aging cards and need to draw another one, it is assumed that Robinson has died. Also, if we run out of all our life tokens and we need to draw another one, we have died also, so that's another lost condition. Basically what will happen is you'll go through that challenge deck again and it will advance to the red stage. Once you complete the red stage is when you fight the pirates, which was basically the same as normal, but you're going to be drawing this many cards to try and beat this number. And a lot of the pirate cards have special conditions on them as well, which is like each additional fighting card costs 2 life points. So as you can see, it's a very challenging game. I think I've shown you enough here, so now let's get back to the table and I can tell you what I think. Okay, so now that we've seen how the game is played, it's time for me to tell you what I think. So let's move on to my first category. For aesthetics, I've decided to give this one an 8, because although a lot of people find the art on these cards can be quite divisive, I actually found that as you level up the deck, seeing the mood of Robinson increase has actually brought a smile to my face on a few occasions. So I've decided to actually give it an 8 for the art, because I actually quite enjoyed it, even though a lot of people think it looks a bit simple. So that's an 8 for aesthetics. And now we're going to be moving on to gameplay, and this is where the game really shines. This is why I've given it a 9. I think it's a really challenging game. It's actually quite hard to actually win. In fact, I think I've only ever actually won the game twice. But it plays rather quickly. The actual gameplay loop itself is interesting and involves the decisions when you choosing what you're going to take on is actually a really nice touch, which means you kind of have some control over how it's going to play out. Although good luck, because you're very rarely going to actually win the game. Fighting those pirates is going to be really tricky, even if you manage to get there. So that's why for gameplay, I've given it a 9 out of 10. So now we're going to be moving on to the accessibility features. And I'm going to give this one an 8. And the reason it lost a point, I was going to give it a 9, because it's actually quite well explained, but there are a few, I'm not going to call them typos, because you can tell it's a bit of a thing to do with translation. Like, some of the keywords are different from card to rulebook. But that's not really that big a problem. So for accessibility, I've still decided to give this one an 8. So that gives the total score of this game to be an 8.3, which is a very good score for me. It's a very good game. I love the fact that it's so cheap, and it's only about £15 in the UK. It really does fit into your backpack. I keep it pretty much everywhere with me. As you can tell, the box is getting a little bit of damage on it. So anyway, that's been my review of Friday. I've been Johnny. You've been watching the Hexy Beast. If you like what you see, please feel free to smash that subscribe button up there and check out another one of my videos up here. Anyway, all I gotta say now is stay Hexy, everyone.